Can't be all that bad, right? Dwayne, I'm going to borrow my book.
Okay, fine.
Your copy of my book. Oh, yes. I'm like, where did I put that poem? Oh, yeah, it's in here somewhere. I'm so glad you have this, because now I don't have to hold my computer up. Ooh. Ooh. Hello, Everett! So, my oldest friend in the world, he's 140. No, I actually say my longest friend, which then makes it sound like he's 7'4". The person I've known the longest in life, who's not related to me by blood, his name is Art Flowers. I know, right? And he's sitting right here in the front. We met when I was in 4th grade, I think it was, in San Jose, California, where our hometown. And he lives not far from here. He used to live in Everett. Now he lives about 10, 15 minutes away. And we were on the way here. I was remarking, like, I have been to the Pacific Northwest many, many times. I currently live in Bellingham, Washington, for the time being. I've lived in Portland, Oregon, and where have you. And this is the first time in all my visits to Everett, this is the first time I've ever performed in the city of Everett, Washington. So it's fascinating that it took me this long. But I was just waiting for the right group of people to show up in a cafe randomly, so this works out nicely. 1. I've heard a lot of poems that begin with the number 1, then continue in a numbered sequence. I wonder if there is a name for poems such as these. 2. My intrigue has set me to write at least one poem in this numbered structure. 3. I feel I need to find out more about this numbered structure. 4. I asked my friend Dave K. Ali'i if he knows the name of this sort of sequenced poetry. 5. He does not. 6. I sent a text message to Victor Infante, a friend and most notable culprit of this style of poetry. He responds with, I don't know offhand, but I will research it when I get home. 7. I assume he is driving. I worry about his ability to operate a vehicle safely while sending me a text message. 8. I miss his phone call 20 minutes later. I call him back without listening to his voicemail. He explains that there is some contention in the literary world as to the true name of this style of poetry, but all agree that the sections between numbers are cantos. 9. This is a canto. 10. So is this. 11. Ezra Pound is notable for writing a long love poem consisting of 120 cantos. 12. That's a fuckload of cantos. 13. This style of poetry often feels like an easy way to tie together a bunch of unrelated topics. 14. I'm not as interested in this style of poetry anymore. I would rather my poetry had a consistent theme. It would be too easy to veer away from the initial concept of the poem, to maintain the original content, yet allow it to grow beyond the first verse, to express myself while seeking resolve, solution, and/or catharsis. 15. It saddens me when pet owners put sweaters and hats on their pets. 16. I still cannot breakdance, and I have to accept the fact that I probably never will. 17. I should never write one of these poems again since I don't know how to end them. 18. Weird cursing for no reason is hilarious and is also not a good way to end a poem, especially when it ends awkwardly and abruptly. 19. Shit lips and short boners. I was trying to find that poem. It's funny that it's in a book that Dwayne has, but it's not on my computer, of all things.
I also have one of your chapbooks, but not here.
You have one of my chapbooks, but not here.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Now I can dream of it sitting in your house lonely right now going, I miss my dad.
It's actually fornicating with the other books.
It's what?
It's fornicating with the other poetry books.
It's making more hobbits. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man. What's that? Yeah, Maikus. Maiku McGee. You guys want to hear a Maiku? Okay. All right. I am Mike McGee. I love women and free food. Running makes me sad. Woo! All right. Oh man. So I didn't bring any merch because I've been traveling a lot and I just haven't had time to make any more chapbooks. I'm redesigning one of my chapbooks, so got a new album I'm putting out next week online. I only do downloads anyway, so If you guys are like into the idea of not wasting paper or plastic, and I do regret making flyers to a certain degree, but it makes it easy. I didn't want to have to write it all down for everyone who wanted one, you know. But I made like 20 of these, and basically it's all downloads 50% off for Everett Poetry Night folks. And if you go to this website right here, which just takes you to my download albums, you then punch in the code ZippyCafe at checkout, and you'll have 50% off all my albums. And my albums start at $5 each, so you're getting them for like $2.50 a piece. So.
Woo!
Not bad, yeah. Yeah, so spread the word, you know. All right. In order to love life, I must love living, and live love like losing it would look like I have no life left to live. If I can give as good as I get, then I've got a gift worth giving. I'm living proof that one guy who isn't into heavy lifting can still raise the roof. It's mind over matter. As a matter of fact, I always lack that stubborn confidence. It's as if all the pretty boys of the world had a little bit of a lot of it stuffed into their pack. So like Corey fucking Feldman and the Goonies, I'm taking it back. I'm taking it all back. Because the fact that it was taken away the first day I set foot in school makes a fool out of the man I am today. And there's no way I'll ever let that happen again. Because when you give away your freedom, you're giving away yourself. It's like putting your dreams on a shelf that you'll never reach, regardless of remembering you once dreamt you'd be a giant among men. You'll never reach those heights again, especially if you're willing to cut yourself short then. They say stand up, stand out, stand in line, stand at attention, stand to be heard, stand to deliver, and whatever you do, don't stand for it. But here I stand. Most nights when I'm on tour, this is me standing in front of a room full of people. And I know it's not 9 hours on my feet, but just like everyone else, after a long day of figuring out where the hell I'm supposed to be in a new town, my feet are tired too. And I go home and I take off my shoes, and the only reason my socks smell like shit is because I've been kicking ass all day. And maybe someday they'll display my footwear in a museum and tell you how many miles I walked in my own shoes, how many times I painted the blues red with the blood I bled on stages when my wages were comprised of merely a bottle of beer and a space to crash. I do this because I love this. And in order to love life, I must love living, and live love like losing it would look like I have no life left to live. I give each show everything I've got because you're the ones that get me going. We're all separate dreams growing into one another. We sing ourselves back into each other like lullabies, making our eyes clamp shut like bear traps around the ankles of sweet dreams. We're old variations on new themes as streams of consciousness run into an ocean of understanding, where we're handing ourselves apologies to pit against our regret, trying to teach ourselves to be happy with what we've got, because maybe we are all we get. Is this thing turned on? Because I have a confession to make. I'm more comfortable in front of a microphone than I've ever been with a woman. And I would love to tell you that I'm an incredible lover, but I've never loved like I would love to. On the other hand, when it's just me and a microphone, I do give great oral. Microphones turn me on. I am who I am at my best when in front of a microphone. I work for the microphone. I use the microphone to my benefit. For as long as I'm on stage, this mic is a part of me. I channel through it. But it's so easy to get caught up in the showmanship, to only say the things you think people want to hear, to only write the songs you think might sell records. Because every audience has the potential to take me higher than I've ever been while I force feed the fuel that fires your fury, and the stratosphere is out of here. If the microphone's near, then have no fear, because it's perfectly clear that this poem is broken. What I really mean is it being spoken. I don't want you to say things that sound cool. They're just words that rhyme, and I'm not here for the rhyme. I'd just be wasting your time. Shit. Which is running out, and I'm still not really saying anything. So here goes nothing. The microphone is a tool I use to cram my soul into your ears. With a microphone, I can move minds and mountains. With my mouth and a microphone, my mental madness marks me more and more. Minus my microphone, many men might measure my magic, minimizing my margins, making my magnitude meager. However, Mama made me make masses marvel, mutter, and moan, moaning Michael, Matthew, McGee. Microphones magnify my mistakes. Microphones mystify my masterpieces. Microphones make my meek meanderings much more melodic. Microphones maneuver my massive mold, moving my mirth merrily, merrily, merrily. Microphones make me mention my malevolence. Microphones melt my masks. Microphones manufacture myths, making me majestic. Microphones made me Mighty Mike McGee. Maybe. But then again, I'm just stringing together a bunch of words beginning with the letter M, when in fact, the microphone is nothing without me. I mean, I can get by without a microphone, but it doesn't compare to how good it feels to be on the mic. And the only way I can describe it would be to say that stages were built so that this body would have a place to deliver these words. This body was built so these words could be delivered. And I shiver at the thought of what I could do in front of a microphone. I'm home up here and it's clear my fear is nowhere near. I wake up so you can cheer for what you hear. My ears have rung from what I've sung. My lung and tongue are raw when I'm done. My words run rings around the things I've seen. And this might sound mean, but the only reason I'm overweight is because I don't date, skate, copulate, fornicate for the sake of my art. I save my energy for the herds of words that fly like birds. I'm a big man because I'm packed with literary stuffing. And this is nothing. I've only just begun my run. And when my time comes, you'll know why you called me Mike. Is this thing turned on? Because I am. Thank you.
Yeah! Woo!
All right. So here's a story. I was hanging out at a bar one night, drinking some ginger ale. On the rocks, and I'm just sort of minding my own business, just sort of doing my own thing, and there's no one in the bar. Maybe a guy in the corner, doing the same thing I'm doing, but doesn't even know I'm there. And I'm sitting at the edge of the bar. I'm like near the front door in case the place sets on fire, which is a good way to live, And I'm sitting there, and I'm feeling really lonely. You know what I mean? I'm just like dwelling in my loneliness. And I'm jotting down my bullshit feelings on napkins, and just really zoned into my loneliness and how it really needs to end because it sucks, And this woman comes in, about my age, and she sits right next to me on the bar. Empty bar, she sits right next to me, starts chatting me up, and I'm just like thinking why are you bothering me right now? Hey, can't you see I'm lonely here, trying to figure this loneliness out? She's just talking at me, So finally, she gets up to leave, and I realize I'm being a jerk, I'm being obtuse, okay. So I engage her, I'm like, wait, don't leave. She goes, well, I might as well go home and feed my cat. I'm thinking, your cat's fine. I tell her, it will survive a night without you. She says, oh, he can't be alone overnight. I tell her I feel the exact same way all the time. And I actually have something to offer the world. She says that her cat is special. Sometimes it sounds like he says Reno when he meows. So I imagine a cat saying Reno. 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 Reno, Nevada. All the time? Is it every time it meows it sounds like Reno? No, only every once in a while, like when he's really craving attention and needs to be brushed. Oh, I say. Oh! I tell her that when I'm craving attention, I remove my shirt, exposing my Katharine Hepburn-shaped birthmark, and I make her talk. Hello, everybody, got any more tequila? I think it's from a movie, I don't know. Look, lady, by now, you must realize I am human, and I have needs, and I can love you, actually love you. I'm not jumping the gun here. I know we just met, but I am capable of real human love. Not your programmed feline, you're the keeper of the food, so I guess I'll stick around bullshit. Does your cat have the ability to make an entire room laugh without it having anything to do with its own failure? Does your cat use a QWERTY keyboard? Does your cat know how to code even a modicum of HTML? Can your cat Photoshop images of you to look like you have a handlebar mustache? I don't think so. I can do half of those things while I have soup cooking on the stove. See these thumbs? Do you? Do you? Because these mean I win. You're right, she said coyly, and we boned right there at Taco Bell. 9 months later, we had 8 kittens. They run my website now. Thank you.
Woo!
I'm not keeping track of time, so you gotta let me know. How many poems do I got left?
You still got like 15 minutes.
15
plus.
minutes? Okay, that's enough for like 46 poems,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. 46 baby poems.
My twos.
So I have this thing. So I have to do a workshop in Calgary, Alberta at the beginning of next month. And they said, so would you mind going to some schools? It's part of the Calgary Spoken Word Festival. And they're like, would you mind going to some schools and doing some workshops and performances? I was like, yeah, totally. And usually when they say that, they're high schools. They're like, we're going to put you in a high school and you're going to do your thing. And high school kids love chubby, hairy guys, And they don't like them when they're enrolled in the school. But, they like them afterward, when the beards are real. So they said, no, it's gonna be like 3 different 7th grade classes, and I was like, fuck. No, because you know what? Like, everyone up to the age of like 11 or 12 is awesome. And then everyone from the age of like 14 and up is awesome. There's something about 12 and 13-year-old boys especially that just suck, man. They're like, it's just like, like if you don't get better in a year and a half, I'm going to cut your head off because you suck, right? Anyhow, so I took a poem of mine and I made it a kid-friendly poem because most of my poems are not kid-friendly. And so I have a poem called Spherical Man, and it's actually one of my favorites to perform, but it's very adult. So what I did was I wrote a new version. I was like, what are the chances that 7th graders know what spherical means? Like, I have to. Now, Canadian 7th graders are basically like American 10th graders. So, like, it's true. They just know, they haven't hit puberty yet. So, so this is now called Chubby Man. All right? So I'm going to read this to you and see. I'm testing it because I haven't read it out loud to a group of people yet. All right? So try to be 7th grade males, okay? All right? Which is super easy. Basically, just get rid of logic, All right. Wherever there's suffering. Oh, it's a superhero poem, by the way. Wherever there's suffering and microwavable food, I'll be there. Wherever there's a crime in progress near a Taco Bell, I'll be there. Wherever there's injustice and nachos, I'll be there. In a world where scrawny superheroes take too many naps, the people need someone with expert taste buds, someone who can talk and chew at the same time and not make it look gross, someone who can make soup for a giraffe and make giraffe soup, someone who can save the world before dinner time. That person is me, and I am Chubby Man. C-H-U-B-B-Y. C is for cereal, as in I'm crazy about cereal, as in I eat cereal for all 3 of my morning breakfasts, 2 of my 4 lunches, and both midnight snacks. H is for hungry, as in all the time, as in it's literally one of my middle names. Michael, Mike, Ladybug, Matthew, Jose, Hungry, Pizza, Stephanie, McGee. U is for you gonna eat that? If you don't, I will. B is for butter, as in who doesn't love butter? Let's make butter and butter sandwiches. Let's make butter shakes. They're thicker than milkshakes. The other B is for butter. I just said that. Are you not paying attention? What, do you have butter in your ears? Because that's the wrong place for it. Y is for why are we not eating butter right now? Look, up in the sky. It's a moose. No, it's a beach ball. No, that's a couch. No, I'm Chubby Man. I can leap a buffet table with a running start. My cannonball is feared at every public swimming pool. I'm faster than your average 3-legged dog in a blindfold. By day, I'm a mild-mannered video game tester. By night, I'm still a mild-mannered video game tester, only I wear an intimidating cape and really sweet tights. That's a weird phrase to say out loud, Oh, those are some really sweet tights. Join forces with me now. Let us rid the world of bland, flavorless food. We must get parents to admit that celery isn't edible. Come together with me and my sidekick, slightly less chubby boy, and we will move toward a world where breakfast is an excuse to miss work. Beep, boop, bop, boop, beep. Yeah, hello, Mr. Jones? Yeah, my son can't make it into school today. No, he's not sick, he's fine, he's just full. I made him a big omelet, and he is resting comfortably, so he's not going to make it in today. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Click. Superman, after enough beans, I can fly too. Spider-Man, I spin webs of cotton candy. Incredible Hulk, I'm the Incredible Bulk. The world needs Chubby Man. Thank you.